Hi, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about mordanting, what is a mordant, why we do it, and how we do it. If you are entering the dye world, you have probably heard of a mordant or the mordant processing. This is typically used with natural dyes. If you've used a prepackaged dye in a powdered form, those dyes have their mordant in them. A mordant is something that is used to fix a color to a material. So in the natural dye world, it's often used to fix our natural dye colors to the fiber. And everything that I'm going to be talking about is stuff that I've done mostly with wool, almost exclusively with wool. But mordant can be used on animal fibers or cellulose fibers. So, as I was saying, prepackaged dye that comes in the powdered form has a mordant in it to fix the dye color to the material that you're dyeing. In the natural dye process, there is no mordant in our dye baths unless we're using a material that naturally has a mordant in it. So while natural dye is usually considered something of a safer process than using prepackaged chemical dyes, the aspect of it that does make it a little bit more hazardous is the mordant or the mordant process. That being said, mordanting is not something to be afraid of, and it's something that's relatively safe if you take standard precautions. So a mordant, usually a metal, is used to fix dye to a material, and the mordant process is often done before the dye is even added to the material. So this is usually a pre-processing that's done to the fiber before dye is introduced. There's a lot of different kinds of materials that we can use in the natural dye world to fix color to our fiber. Some types of dyes don't require a mordant. So indigo, for example, does not require anything to fix the color to the fiber if you're dyeing an animal fiber or a cellulose fiber. Other dyes do require a mordant. So all of our flowers, anything that doesn't have a naturally occurring tannin in it, so tannin being found mostly in barks and nuts can act as a mordant. Those materials wouldn't necessarily need something to fix color to fiber. Any plant material, berries, those types of things, those require extra help to adhere the color to the yarn and keep it, or to the fiber, and keep it color fast and light fast.